Join UF Hall of Famer and 14-year NFL vet Shane Matthews every weekday as he brings you all you need to know about your Florida Gators, including news, analysis, and opinions with some of the biggest names in sports. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, or watch us live at 8 a.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter.
Good morning. Live edition of Matthews in the Morning coming to you from the International Diamond Center Studios, locations across the state of Florida and right there in Celebration Point in the heart of Gator Nation. Go check them out, International Diamond Center. Also, Comfort Temp Heating and Air is your number one local HVAC company. Comfort is our business, peace of mind, as I promise. We got Buddy Martin today. We'll also have Steve Spurrier Jr. If you missed it last night, the Chargers defeat the Eagles in overtime. Jalen Hurts threw 4 interceptions, didn't play great. Eagles have lost 3 in a row. That's your defending Super Bowl champ. So it's wide open, no doubt about it. Let's go to the Titan Number Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. We're joined by Buddy Martin, the host of Buddy Martin Show. You can listen to that every weeknight, late night talk show, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's up, buddy?
I want to personally thank you last night. I kept you a long time. We had a couple of situations that popped up with our people. One person got tied up, and unfortunately, Franz Beard lost his mom yesterday, Clarita. So RIP to her. But you were great, and we had a good discussion. Learned a lot from Scott about his trip out to see Summerall, and we talked a lot about what's wrong with college football. But we could talk about that forever. But having said that, it's still a great game.
It is. Got a lot to talk about today. Gators play in Madison Square Garden tonight against UConn. It's supposed to tip around 9, probably be a little bit later than that. We had some coaching changes yesterday, or coaches that weren't retained by John Summerall. Did any of those surprise you, buddy?
I was kind of surprised at you, Luke. I thought he had quite a record. I don't know what happened there, but obviously he's got his own guy. But Chapman apparently was a no-brainer. But, you hate to see guys like Billy Gonzalez go, but it's inevitable. When there's a change at the top, there's changes on the staff. And as I said to you last night, I've been in this situation 4 or 5 times where I came in from the outside as the head man and had to make choices on people. There's certain positions that you want your people there. One of them is quarterback. You keep seeing maybe that may be even a possibility in the future. But there were some things. I wonder too now where we're going to go with a couple other people. I would like to know about Mike Pete. I haven't heard about him. Another interesting one is Katie Turner. She's been apparently a huge force there in recruiting, and she was much coveted by many people. But we'll see how it plays out. As you point out, it's his staff, his game, and he's already shown he's relentless about who he's going to pick. And he said in his first press conference he will not hire any friends. He made a lot of his friends mad. But there's a couple of people out there that I'd like to see him look at, and one of them is Phil Trautwein, who I think is in his 6th season at Penn State and has apparently good reputation as an offensive line coach. And since he's fired both of his offensive line coaches, no surprise there. Rob Sale came in with Billy's man. He's going to need somebody. So anyway, we'll see. He's got his own way of picking people, and he's off to a running start. He certainly got 2. At least as far as I know, you tell me that they're good choices. Certainly the offensive coordinator. Their coordinators seem to be really top-notch. And although I know what I'm hearing, what I think is he got 2 really good people there. And usually when you get the good people at the top, the other good ones follow.
Reggie on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mel Law, says, when is Faulkner going to be announced as the OC? Yeah, I don't know. Have they officially announced that, buddy?
That's a good question. I thought they had, but it's certainly out there that he's done it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it's been officially announced. I do know that he wants to be a head coach at least some point in his career. I know the Southern Miss job is opening up. I think that coach is going to Memphis. I'd heard that he may be in the running for that. I don't know. I don't think he'd make the same amount of money, but a lot of guys want to be in charge. So we need to find out about that. Also, Luke says on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plumbing, Katie's a package deal. That's what we'll decide. because she's married now. She's married to one of the assistant receiver coaches. I can't remember his name. So,
Who can? There's so many of them. There's so
yeah.
many I can't remember them all. Well, I don't know Katie, but everybody I know what work she's done. She was really a force when she came there. They started getting serious about recruiting, and it impacted. And I will say this: that as much as Billy Napier has been criticized, and you say he's a good coach Monday to Friday, or somebody said that,
I didn't say
well, somebody says it. I
that.
guess it's Laura Meadows who says that Monday to Friday. The bottom line is that he did a good job as a quote unquote general manager and getting the right infrastructure to the people and getting good people in key positions. But on game day, he came up short.
Okay, so Luke says, I'm not sure who he's referring to, says he's already in Gainesville and changed his social media to UF. I guess he's talking about Buster Faulkner. So I just don't know if they officially
Pretty
have.
much a done deal. Everybody's talking about it and what a good hire it was, etc. You know,
Mhm.
Shane, at the last minute now, things are done at the last minute. I mean, the last second. Think about the whole thing with Summerall. He was gone to Auburn. He was gone. He
Yeah.
was about to take the tob, and he talked about it a little bit, today. And he and his wife talked it over and said, which is a better situation for us? And they had their choice. There were several jobs, and Auburn screwed up, and Florida got him, and Billy Napier's replacement was done. But I hate to think what would have happened if they hadn't gotten Summerall.
Yeah. Don says on Facebook Live, good morning. Is it true that Ed Ogeron is the new head coach at Tulane? No, their new head coach is a guy named Will Hall. He was announced yesterday or the day before. I want to give a shout out to Castaway Sauce Company. I don't know if you can see this right here, but it's this sauce here, buddy, you put on your chicken. They use it at
Hold it up.
Spurrier.
It's kind of going in and out. Hold it up so we
Yeah,
can see
it's
it.
because of the screen.
Right there. Oh, you
Um,
right in front of your face. Put it right in front of your face. There you go. That's
yeah,
good. What is it?
it's called Ball Kicker.
Ball
Named,
kicker.
yeah, the head ball coach. They use it at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill, but they're part of our program now. Castaway Sauce Company. Appreciate them.
I got to try that. I got to call Freddie and see if I can get some. Is it mild or is it you get a choice or
Well, they got multiple. They also have mango chipotle, but the
hmm,
ball kicker is their number one. So I'm
ball
gonna try it.
kicker? Huh?
So
Judd Davis.
that's an interesting name, isn't it? Ball
It
kicker.
is ball kicker.
Yeah, it's probably hot as hell, I guess. I don't know.
I'm not. You like real hot?
Not real hot, but I do like
No.
spicy stuff.
Yeah, but medium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so buddy, we talked about you thought Billy Gonzalez and Jaluk may have hung around, and I know a lot of
No, I
people
didn't say
that
man hung
way.
around. I just think it's unfortunate there are two guys I thought they did a good job and didn't get rewarded for it. I mean, it's
Well,
the
it's not that
way
they
it
didn't get
is.
rewarded. It's just like as you said, when you're a coach and you have the
Mhm.
dreams of being a head coach, you have on your list usually
Mhm.
who you want to go after, right? Or who
Yeah.
you want to
Sure.
be your running back coach, your O-line coach.
Sure.
And those coaches may do a great job where they are, but they just don't fit in and have a relationship with the new coach. So,
I hear you. Shane, when I was in journalism school, I would sit there and make names of people I wanted to hire on my staff one day. Even back in journalism school, I'd make names of people that I wanted to hire. Myself and a guy named Bill Buckalter used to do it. And you're always looking, thinking, when you're the head man, you get your opportunity, you want to have the right people. And it's not as easy as you might think. One time I was asked to hire 18 people in 6 weeks in New York. And I said, go get them. I mean, at 6 weeks, there are 18 people, Shane. And, it's not easy to find the right. You're going to make some mistakes at that level. But, and you don't really know in football. I guess it evens out. But, yeah, so hiring is not easy. But if you're the kind of person that Summerall is, apparently he's made impacts on people throughout his coaching career. You attract a certain quality of person, and that's helpful.
yeah. Don, I wanted to bring this up. I'm glad he brought it up on Facebook Live, brought to my mail. Rest in peace, Sonny Tillman.
Yeah.
Sonny's Barbecue, a UF tradition back in the day, all you can eat. They still have that all you can eat. And they had no NIL back in the day.
Yeah.
So I had to scrap around enough money, buddy,
Yeah.
pay for my offensive linemen on Sundays. I would take them to Sonny's on the old Sonny's on Archer Road.
Archer, that's the
It
original
was like
Sonny's. That's
it
the
was like
original. Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like $4.99 all you can eat on Sundays, and we would go there, and I'd get as much change as I could find in my room and whatever to pay for their meals.
That's a
So
great story. Well, you were
yeah,
doing it a long time before it got to be popular. Five
yeah.
bucks, you could buy a big old offensive tackle, a
Oh,
nice meat.
they would eat for hours. It was
Put him out
crazy.
of business. Yeah, Sonny Tillman was 96. Great Gator. A lot of people knew him. I didn't never know him, but obviously Coach Spurrier knew him. I saw you posted the picture there. So these are people that have been legends around Gainesville and been contributors a long time to the program, and they deserve to be remembered.
Art on YouTube brought to you by Quality Plum. I'm gonna let Buddy answer this first, and I'll give my thoughts. And I've kind of given my thoughts. He says, Shane, we can't bring back Lagway. He's a reclamation project. Do you agree?
No, I don't agree. He's a talent. I think you look at talent. I mean, whether you're hiring a writer or an editor or a ball player or whatever, I've always been a sucker for talent. Give me the talent and I'll fix the rest. That's how I've always felt about it.
You sound like a damn front office guy in the
Well,
NFL,
that's
buddy.
what I used to do all the time. I had people that I made mistakes on because they're such terrific writers, but they really were not much in doing anything else. But no, I think you go if you want talent, you got to get talent. This guy's a major talent. He's obviously more about this than anybody in the world about the mechanics it takes to be a quarterback. And you said from the beginning, he's got some things that'll be tough to overcome. We'll find out what kind of coach Summerall is, and what his new coordinator is. Get the guy and look at him. Who would not want to? Would you? I'd like to coach him. Would you like to coach him?
I don't know. I like again, buddy, I look at quarterbacks differently.
Well, Shane, you want 2 stars, so you can
No, no,
coach
no,
him.
no, 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 no. I want a guy that can process information, number one.
Yeah.
That's crucial. Meaning I can make quick decisions. I know where to go with the football. The second thing, buddy, is accuracy and anticipation. You can't
Okay.
teach that. You can't. That's just God given. And then the third is mental and physical toughness. Um,
Okay. That's a good list. I like
I
that
don't know
list.
what's going to happen. I do know, and I do believe that Buster Faulkner is going to bring a quarterback in as well. Now, I know there will be a competition. I just don't know how that's going to work out from the amount of money that's being paid. But here's the thing, buddy.
What's the
Every,
guy's name? Philo something? And
yeah, Aaron
his girl.
Follow.
Yeah.
Every quarterback that plays at Power Five schools is talented. When people talk about this as talent. So speaking of that, I'm watching the Monday night game last night, buddy. And I guess it was at halftime. Philip Rivers, who's 44 years old, is going to work out again for the Colts because
I can't believe that.
Daniel Jones blew his Achilles out. Their
Hmm.
quarterback they're playing is Riley Leonard, not Richard, a rookie. Where is Anthony Richardson? Did they cut him?
He's still hurt.
Hurt?
Still hurt.
What did he hurt?
He
He
was
hasn't
hurt before.
played,
He's hurt again.
but he hasn't played. How's he hurt?
I guess he in a then he
So
hurt
that
himself
was that.
in the locker room. Shane hurt himself in the locker room.
Uh, okay.
Yeah, you look like you're a ghost right now, Shane. I can always see an apparition there. You look
Oh
all
yeah.
white.
Well, it's I got the shades, the shutters are open. That's probably why.
It's weird.
I'll close them down here in a minute when we go to break. Um, okay, so I didn't realize he was hurt.
He hurt himself in the locker room, according to what I read.
Large Fry says it looks like Shane is disappearing into
It
heaven.
does. Looks like you're going up in your apparition.
Just think the
Maybe
great things that Zach's doing behind the scenes he doesn't know here. Oh,
That
that's
looks
funny.
weird.
Oh, he fractured his orbital bone. So he did that, and I forgot about that. That was like seems like a couple months ago.
Well, no, what I heard and I read again, and of course it has to be accurate, it's on the internet, right? Is that he injured himself in the locker room again somehow. That's what I read. Now, and again, I could be wrong. I usually
Yeah.
am. Our guys your listeners follow closer than I do. But Shane, that's getting weird looking, man.
Well, there's
Really.
nothing I can do about it, buddy. We're on live, so we'll
Well,
deal with
get
it.
up, and go close your shade.
I don't care.
Well, I want to be able to see you and
Well, you
talking
don't need
to
to
a
see me.
ghost.
Sometimes I'm not even on the show.
Okay.
All right. Um, So, buddy, your thoughts on the basketball game tonight?
Well, I tell you, have you ever been to Madison Square Garden?
I have not.
It is a special place. I spent well, not large. I spent many times. I was been there when I was living in New York 3 times, and it is kind of the Mecca. There's something about that place that's incredible. This UConn opponent has become a real fierce rival, and he's talking. Hurley's talking now a little different. His quote today was about looking back at the championship game. He a lot of it alluded to the fact that it was luck last year, but now he's saying, "I see now why they won the championship." I don't know if that was his approach. Hurley's a weird guy. He says a lot of weird things. He makes Spurrier look tame, some of the things he says. But Florida slipped a little bit. They're still playing pretty decent basketball. They got to stop turning the ball over and got to hit their shots. They're not shooting the ball well. But when you look at and you get a copy of that book, that Golden Season, which you can get, by the way, go to spurriers.com and look under shop. There's a copy of Franz's book. Reread and look at what these guys did last year. Shane, this may have been the all-time greatest trio of guards on one team I could ever remember. Those guys are amazing. Look what they're doing in the NBA. They're tearing it up. They all played on one team.
Yep. They were very talented kids, no doubt about it. Daryl on the Titan Vortex. It's funny. I'm looking at this thing. People have talked about. I have ascended into Mount Olympus.
You look crazy, man. I'm
That's
telling
great.
you.
It's hey, bring something new to the program.
Yeah, you know what they're gonna say? My guy Shane's passed away. Look at him.
That's
Yeah, put
okay.
that up. That's better. There you go. That's a whole lot
Um,
better. Piece that down.
Daryl on the Titan text line says, guys, with Jabbar Jalook not being retained, will that affect Jaden Ball's decision to stay or go, or is it
That's a
about
good. That's what I would have worried about.
I don't think it has anything to do with it. I think it has done. It's going to be about dollars.
Could be right.
Yeah, they don't give a damn who their coach is if they're getting paid.
So who are the 3 quarterbacks for next fall?
Oh, I have no idea, buddy. We don't even know if DJ's going to be on the roster. There's people think he's coming back, and he may come back. He may want to come back, but he may also want to try the portal. Who knows?
Is Steve
Uh,
Spurrier Jr. coming back?
I don't know. We'll ask him. He's on the next
I
next
know.
segment.
I know. That's why I asked.
I don't even know if he knows.
Okay. I guess there's this thing called coaching 2 teams that takes up your time, Crazy.
Well, coaching's a tough profession. Ruse Ogre State Farm Office is a team of dedicated insurance professionals ready to help life go right with the right insurance options for you and your family. Visit ogreinsurance.com. Give them a call at 352-240-1779. We got Buddy Martin here, and we'll have Steve Spurrier Jr. second portion of the show. Buddy, let's get to this day in sports, which is brought to you by Campus USA Credit Union. Put some star power to work in your financial life for over 90 years. Campus USA Credit Union. Buddy, do you know who won the first Heisman Trophy? Were you around then?
Jay Burwanger,
Very good, buddy. 1935, the first Heisman Trophy was awarded to Jay Burwanger. Do you know where he played?
Chicago? I
Yep,
don't remember. I don't remember a
Chicago.
thing. I'm surprised I knew that. But I voted just there yesterday for I don't know how many times. And I had 2 of the 3 finalists. You saw the finalists, right? And I had 2 of them on there. And I'll tell you what, I could have made a case for Gunnar Stockton. I mean, he's a reason that team is so successful, in my opinion. And then Georgia might win it all. So, but he kind of got overlooked. People kind of laughed at him last year and whatever, like he was some Yahoo. That guy's a baller. He's tough. He can beat you with his feet and with his arm, and he's a competitor. So, yeah, I mean, my gosh, what a great story it is for Mendoza. One of the great stories we've had in college football in a long time. He and Cincinnati, I would argue the 2 of them together make as great a college football story as you want to have. But yeah, Jay Burwanger was the man. I don't remember when I first started voting, but I know I voted for Coach Spurrier. And so that would have been 66. So I guess I voted in 64 or 5 first time.
Um, Speaking of the quarterbacks here, 47 on YouTube, brought to you by Quad Plum, says DJ Trammell and Will Griffin. Um,
Yeah, I
That's
think
possible.
that's
That's
a good
possible,
group.
but you're going to have another guy come in. They're going to bring one of their own guys.
Griffin's a talented guy. Apparently, I've not seen him, but
Yeah,
can I give a shout out real quick? I would just mention Jake Slaughter, who just got the first Wayne McCall Character Award to kind of quarterback club. He's one of the finalists for the Remington Trophy. That's the best center in the country. Now, can you name anybody else, Shane?
as a center,
Yeah, who would you put up for the Remington Award?
I couldn't name another center on another team, buddy.
Well, who was up is the guy from Iowa, Logan Jones, and the guy from Oregon, and I hope I get this right, Iapani Lalalua. And they're the ones in, I think Slaughter's got a chance here of winning that thing. It'd be a nice honor.
Yeah, he probably will, being a All-American last year.
He's a great kid. I had a chance to get to know him a little bit lately. I really like him a lot. Now,
Yeah.
Shane, I'm going to help you fix college football in 5 minutes or less.
All right, we'll
Okay.
do it. You got 5 minutes. Tell me how to
All
do
right.
it, buddy.
All right. All right. I love this. The best idea I've heard yet from anybody about what's among the things we know it's beyond broken. I mean, they've already gone said they're going to make Notre Dame will be in next year if they make the Final 12. They had to make that deal with them. And now the question is, what's wrong? Well, number one, I hate that the bowl games are going away, and you do too. Bowl games mean a lot. So I like this idea. Key involve people. Rick Neuheisel on the future of bowl games in college football, and he said, "I think bowl games are going to end up being the first game of the year." What a great idea! I mean, let's go ahead. We already got some now. Some of these phony bowl games already. Let's go ahead and make our bowl games the first game of the year and get it over with. I think that could spice things up. And then here's my other idea. This has been mentioned in some form or the other, and here's the way I think you can cap it off. We all don't know what to do with the spring games. Well, the spring games, you could take them and you could have one of those jamborees they used to call them in high school, a scrimmage game, where let's say Florida chose to scrimmage Florida A&M. I don't know, whoever might help, and bring them in for a quarter or 2 quarters, let them play, sell some tickets, make some money for the school, and make the game mean something. That's why you can't have a so-called game unless you have something to play for. I like Newhouse's idea of making the bowl games the first game of the year, and then cap it off in the spring with the jamboree scrimmage and make the games mean something. That's how you can start by fixing college football. There's a lot more wrong with it, but we're going down a road right now we don't want to go, which is to eliminate things that matter. You last week could lose the conference championship games because if you look at the way things are set right now, the conference championship games are unfair advantage for the teams that don't have them. We saw it happen, and it's going to continue to be that. And there's things we're going to lose like rivalries. We already lost some rivalries because of the new setup. So I think we want to protect the things that matter to us. Start with think of it this way. You're in your house, it catches fire. What 3 things you going to take with you? That's how you have to look at it. College football is on fire, and now they have to come up with some way to retrieve the things that are most important, like rivalries, like bowl games, things that matter. I think this could help in that direction and finally put some meaning behind the game in the spring. That's how you start fixing it.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't want to get rid of championship games. I think
I
it's
don't either, but
important.
that's where we're going to go. That's where this is
Well,
going.
if they make sure that if you win your championship game, you're automatically in.
Well, they haven't done that.
I know they should, in my
And I
opinion.
don't think expanding and going to 24 is always the answer. Let's go 40. Let's go 70. Let's go 100.
24.
I know that, but we started with before I predicted this would happen. It's going the same way as the college basketball. So I'm excited about the basketball game tonight. I really am. I see if Florida's going to be able to compete with these guys. UConn's good.
UConn's very good. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a home game pretty much for them.
It is.
But we battled at Cameron Indoor, had a chance to win that game, was down big, came back. We'll see. Got to make shots, right?
Yeah, but that guy pulled that 3-point shot out of us. You know what? I mean, when he made it. You're right. You got to make shots. You can't turn the ball over, Shane. They rebound really good. Jim Lou is a really good rebounder. They can't turn the ball over, and they got to make their foul shots. They got to shoot the three better. And actually, now they're starting to shoot the three a little better. We've seen some of that happen. So you realize how much better the team was last year. Why? Because they could do all those things. They had a heck. That's an unbelievable season. You'll have to get this book and reread it. Remember what a memorable season. Again, let me plug it. The Golden Season. Go to Spurriers.com. Look on the shop and buy your copy now for Christmas.
Very true. It's to be a good Christmas present.
It would be.
No doubt about it. The Pouncey Twins provide all of Gator Nation with the highest quality liqueurs made by J.F. Hayden Craft Liqueurs. Find your favorite mango flavors at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill. All right, buddy, who you got on your program tonight?
Well, it's Lauren Meadows tonight, and that means Rob Brown's going to be on, and probably some others bandits out there. They do a really good job. But tonight we got basketball, so it's going to be a bit competitive. I'm not sure if Lauren might want to go early or not because of the basketball game. But it'll be good. There's always some good talk on there. Lauren does a great job. Lauren Meadows, check him out on the Buddy Martin Show.
All right, buddy. Appreciate your time. Have a great week, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Shane.
That's Buddy Martin. Join us on the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. Quick timeout. We come back. We're joined by Steve Spurrier Jr. You're watching and listening to PodUp Matthews in the Morning from the International Diamond Center Studios. We'll be right back.
Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, UF Health Orthopedics. Our gridiron sponsors are Baker's Sports, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Rue's Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Advocare, and MG&A Wealth. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And if you want to advertise, give my man Freddie a call at 352-284-3733.
Hi there, this is Coach Steve Spurrier, and I want to let you know that by popular demand, Spurrier's Gridiron Grill's delicious brunch is now served in a premium buffet. You have spoken, we have listened, and we're now serving Gainesville's only elevated buffet complete with an omelet station, ginger sage chicken sausage, shredded short rib, and of course our chicken and waffles. Plus, you can enjoy bottomless mimosas and Bloody Marys. So join us every Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 3 for the best brunch in town.
The jewelry store with the most likes, the most positive reviews, the most raving fans is International Diamond Center.
IDC is definitely a place that I will come to as long as I live here. This will be my go-to place always.
Literally the best jewelry store in town. You'll make friends for life coming in here. I felt like family from the beginning. The value was extraordinary.
I've got a beautiful diamond on my finger and I'm very proud of it.
International Diamond Center.
I'm very happy to show it off.
At Celebration Point and online at shopidc.com.
Naysayers, setbacks, injuries. Life throws a lot of hurdles your way. The key is just keep jumping them.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. When Urban Meyer wanted to introduce his high-quality tequila to the Gator Nation, he made sure to get it to the HBC and his team at Spurrier's Gridiron Grill and Dorn's Liquors. Go beyond with smooth Los Landeros tequila. We're just waiting on Steve Spurrier Jr. to join the program. In the meantime, John says on Facebook Live, brought to you by Mellon Law, Florida's lost to Arizona, Duke, both number 1 and number 3, and now face UConn. You got to eventually win one of these games. That's true. Tonight's going to be hard, though, especially in that ballpark. Barone 71 on YouTube, brought to you by Quality Plum. So does the 5-day rule for players to enter the portal begin now or when Summerall is done with Tulane? I don't know the answer to that. Maybe we'll ask Spurrier Jr. But the portal opens up in January, regardless of your coach or whatever. And then Gator Nation wants to know, do we got any information on the baseball situation? No, as far as I know, Sully will be back. All right. Do we have him yet, Zach? Okay. All right, a couple of texts here on the Titan More text line. We wait on him. This is from Monty. He says, Shane, I'm surprised the Colts aren't giving Kyle Trask a shot. I think Kyle is on the Falcons roster now. All right. We're just waiting on Bub to chime in. In the meantime, let me read a couple of YouTubers here. Large Fry says, I went to that game at Cameron Indoor last week. That place is amazing and loud. It's a small little high school gym, man. It's very interesting and unique. Very cool place, no question about it. It's right up there with like Lambeau Field and places like that. That's cool that you got to go. I wonder if you had to pay what you had to pay to get into that. Tickets for that game were crazy, I heard. Manuel says, how do you fix college football? Scrap the playoffs and go back to the old system, how it was in 1992, from proper conference alignment to the bowl games and the champions decided by the APM coach. I don't know the answer. I mean, there's always nothing has ever been perfect and nothing will be perfect. I just like the way that the FCS does it with 24 teams. You got automatic qualifiers and then you have at large. And I just think that would be a lot easier. Large Fry said he paid a ton for those tickets. No question about it. While we're waiting on Steve Spurrier Jr. to join the program. All right. This text on the Titan MR text line. Okay, he dropped off somehow. You need to log back in, bub. We got technical difficulties going on. This text on the Titan MR text line. This is from Jimmy. Jimmy says, Shane, what other quarterbacks do you think these coaches bring in? I don't know the answer to that. I do think they're going to bring somebody. There's been a report that this Aaron Philo kid from Georgia Tech may follow Buster Faulkner. We'll have to wait and see. We got him now, I think, Zach. All right. I think he's got to hit *6 to unmute. He dropped off again. All right, we got technical difficulties. I guess Bub ain't paying his phone bill. All right, Art says Vanderbilt got robbed. I agree 1,000%. Here, Zach, let's take a break and come back. I'm going to have you call him. He keeps dropping out and he needs help. All right, let's take a break. We'll come right back.
Our premium sponsors are Atlantic Roofing, Campus USA Credit Union, International Diamond Center, J.F. Hayden's Craft Liqueurs, Los Landeros Tequila, Meldon Law, Titan MRI and Imaging, UF Health Orthopedics. Our gridiron sponsors are Baker's Sports, Comfort Temp, Electronics World, Florida Cracker Kitchen, Florida Victorious, Gallo Car Wash, Miapa Latin Cafe, Peachland Dental, Quality Plumbing, Ruse Ogre State Farm, Silverback Concrete, 84 Lumber, Big Mills Cheesesteaks, Celebrate Primary Care, Gator Bait Media, Gator Dominoes, Ironwood Golf Course, McDonald's of Gainesville, Tropical Smoothie Cafe, UF Bookstores, Advocare, and MG&A Wealth. Watch and listen to us live on Facebook and YouTube. Listen to the podcast whenever on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. And if you want to advertise, give my man Freddie a call at 352-284-3733.
Welcome back to the International Diamond Center Studios. Florida Crackers, a brand for original Floridians. Great food and Southern hospitality in Brooksville, Florida. Or visit them at Keystone Heights, Florida Cracker Oyster Bar. That's floridacracker.com. Back to the Titan More Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Temp. It's our man, Steve Spurrier Jr., joining the program. What's up, bub?
Not much. How we doing, Shane?
Doing great. How about the Dukies, man? Do you think your alma mater wins the ACC the first time since your pops was the head coach in '89, and they get left out of the playoffs? Do you think I don't know what the proper thing to do with this playoffs, but I feel like if you win your conference championship game, you should go in.
I agree. I think I don't care how many losses they have. To me, and I think Miami's a great team. I don't question them at all. But somehow they weren't good enough to play for their own conference championship. So to me, they should be out, and whoever the winner is should be in. Yeah. And, we used to have a 4-team playoff, and they said, well, wait a minute, 5 and 6 are too good. We got to find a way to get them in. So I think having 12 teams, and again, I don't think they're the 12 best teams in the country, but I think the top 8 teams are represented. But in saying that, I think the winner of the ACC conference should have a shot to be one of the top 12, whoever it may be. But, yeah, what a win for Duke. And, they took a picture on the field after the game, and I text Manny Diaz afterwards. They were all fired up in Durham. Yeah, what a big win for Duke to win the ACC in football.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We got a text here on the Titan MR text line. This text says, Shane, if Coach Spurrier can answer this, ask him what he thought went wrong with the staff and the team this season.
Well, I mean, there's 100 tricky questions and 100 tough answers. I do remember in the beginning of the year, people always asked me, they said, what kind of team do we have here at Florida? I mean, how good are we? And I said, I think we're a really good team. And I think we play a bunch of really good teams. We got a tough schedule. It's going to be a tough record. And we're going to have to be on the edge, and we're going to have to play well. And our quarterback's going to have to play well. And whenever you get kind of below that fine edge, the difference between an 8-9 win team and a 4-win team is not a lot. So I think we have a good team. I think we got a lot of good players on this team. And, like Herm Edwards said, you are what your record is. So we're 4-8, and a change was made, and we're kind of looking forward to the future here, being a Gator.
Yeah. You normally in your coaching career, you worked with wide receivers. This year as an analyst, you kind of work with Tramel Jones and some of the young quarterbacks. Just talk a little bit about, do you prefer working with the quarterbacks or coaching receivers because that's what you played in college?
Oh, I like both. I think if you're going to be a play caller, you need to work with the quarterbacks. So for that reason, I've kind of always liked to be in that room, and I think the message has to go through him as to how well an offense gets executed. But I've coached running backs, I've coached tight ends, I've done a little bit of everything. But in the purest form of the success of an offense, the play caller and the guy handling the ball, typically there's a tight association between those two guys.
We got a text here on the Titan More text line from Joe. He says, do you have any aspirations of being a head coach one day?
Sure. I got a lot of aspirations, one day at a time. So right now I'm kind of looking to coach a position, hoping to be a coordinator somewhere. I constantly keep my offensive thoughts together on the things that combine some of the things my father's done and some of the things Mike Leach's done and some of the things I certainly learned from Bob Stoops. So I got a lot of things in there, but one day at a time. But yeah, I've got a lot of aspirations in the profession.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that. You called plays, I think, a couple of times at Tulsa, a little bit at Mississippi State in that bowl game.
Yep.
But if I was going to ask you, because I've thought about this too. If I were going to run a system, what do you want to run? And you just kind of said it. A little version of your dad, throw a little of that air raid in it, maybe a little West Coast version here and there. Just kind of a mixture of everything, right?
Yeah, I loved what Mike Leach did. I think you got to run the ball a little bit more. And I think my father always ran the ball really good. But I think what Leach did formationally and different side adjustments and protection-wise, I think he was really, really sharp in how he handled the things. And then now, to be really good on offense, I think your quarterback has got to run the ball a little bit. And, when Brent Venables made his hire last year, he said one of the most important factors was his quarterback's going to run. And I think Buster Faulkner here, I mean, what they do with their quarterback is really impressive and really hard to stop. So I think your quarterback somewhere along the way has to be a threat to carry the ball, and defenses have to account for him.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Looking at the receivers this year for the Gators, obviously, majority of I guess the fans are hoping that Dallas Wilson, Vernell Brown III, Trey Wilson, and I'm probably leaving somebody out. They're hoping they come back. Talk a little bit about kind of not just with the Gators, but just how the landscape of college football now is. It's kind of like whoever gives you the best offer is probably where you're going to go play and give you the most money, right?
Well, you hope not. You hope that's not the bottom line. For some people, it is. But I tell you, the University of Florida, to be a Gator, still carries some weight. And I think people still want to be a part of this program. And if you look at our recruiting class, I mean, right when Coach Napier was let go and through the year and who's going to be our next coach and, there's some uncertainty, I think we lost one player. And we signed a really good class of players. So people want to be a part of this program. We still own that. So Dallas Baker and some of these great players that are on this team, they want to be a part of being a Gator, and they want to win as a Gator. And I think the message is coming across that if we can keep these great players here, we are in position to win. So that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to be paid the most. And the University of Florida certainly should provide both those opportunities for the players that we're going to have on this team. So if you want to win and play at the highest level and our NIL money will be as competitive as anyone in the nation, we will put together as good a team as anybody out there. And we'll have the funds to do that.
Yeah. A couple of people on YouTube brought to you by Quality Plumbing are asking what's your role and are you planning to stay on Summerall's staff?
Yeah, I'll know this week. Yesterday I think he spent the majority of time with the top 10 position coaches. And then these next few days, he's going to talk to everyone else in the building. We got a lot of people in the building all over the place. I've been an analyst with my title, worked with the quarterbacks, worked with Ryan O'Hara and, met with those guys all year. And then as Ryan O'Hara went to the press box, I was the on-field quarterback coach. So I got to be on the field and talk to DJ and, go over each situation and have that iPad and go over all those things and talk about down to down. So that's what I did this year. And going forward, I'll find out whether I'll be here or somewhere else next year. So welcome to the business.
Andy on Facebook Live says, Steve, have you had any contact with Will Griffin and how do you think he will fit into UF's plans?
I have. I've kept up with him all year and all summer. Every time he comes to the game, I spent some time with he and his father, Nick. And even last summer when we were first, one of my first tasks was to evaluate all the quarterbacks that we were recruiting and what I thought of Will. And Will's a big, strong, tough, athletic guy that can run. And he's a deep ingrained Gator. He never hesitated on wanting to be here. When in the past it's always popular, I'm going to look around, I'll talk to this guy or that guy, or he was a Gator from the very beginning and all the way through the end. So I like that about him. I think he's a tough, competitive guy. How well he fits into exactly what Coach Faulkner does, I'm not sure. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly how he fits into that. But he is, he's not a little guy. He's a tough guy. He can run, and I actually think he'll fit in fine here. So yeah, we're happy to have Will part of this class and happy to have him a Gator.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The whole conversation the last couple of weeks is what's DJ going to do? What's Trammell going to do? Is Buster Faulkner going to bring in a quarterback that he and the rest of the staff, want to compete? I know you have no idea, but don't you think they're probably going to bring somebody in to have a competition at that position?
The quarterback position now, anytime there's a coaching change and anytime there's an offensive coordinator change and anytime there's as much pressure on an offense to really be successful, as there is at the University of Florida. I would imagine he will bring someone in. I don't know who that'll be or how he'll do it, but typically you just try to find somebody that you tie to your name. Not necessarily that he's better than anybody you have here, but you try to bring somebody in that you can identify with, that's got some experience, that's played a little bit, that's done some of the things that you want that guy to do, and then go from there. But we have some talented players in this room. And Jamel Jones, a guy I've always liked and always thought he was a really talented guy. And DJ will get his opportunity to prove he's the best player in this system. So we'll bring those guys in and let them compete, and we'll make sure that the offense that is put on the field next year is the best one we can put out there.
Fill everybody in. The portal opens up, I think, the first week in January. It's open for 2 weeks. Is that correct?
That's correct. January 3rd, it's open for 2 weeks.
And that's the only one you have now. They used to have different windows. So
they used to have 2 portals.
Okay, go ahead.
You used to have 2 portals. They had one there, and then they had one at the end of the spring,
right,
which was an absolute. You had absolutely no idea who your team was until the end of the summer. You had no idea. You couldn't plan on it. So at least by the end of this period, you know who your team is. The team you take into spring football will be the team you take into the fall. So that's good as far as that goes. Now, there's 2 weeks you can get into the portal. Now, you can sign people. There's an extensive date in which you can sign people out of the portal. So it's still a circus on how people get in and where they go and how guys take official visits and how you sign guys and what's your roster number. I actually cannot explain and define perfectly exactly how all that works. We talked about this 105, this 85, this what does a scholarship mean? There's a lot of strange variables that go into this. But going into that portal now, and we'll meet with every one of our players, and we'll talk about exactly where we are and what their future looks like here and what it looks like there. And then I remember Mike Gundy made a big statement a couple of years ago, and this was an Oklahoma State issue, but he said, my entire team will get into the transfer portal. And he said, I want our team to come back. But he said, they'll get into the portal just to see what their market value is. He said, they'll all come back. They want to be here, but they all want to know. So if you get in the portal, you can find out what people are willing to pay you and then come back. So it's that was a tricky statement, and there's a lot of variables to go into it. But again, guys want to be Gators. Guys want to be here at Florida, and we're in a position here to really put together a great team come the end of this portal season.
So basically now, as you just stated, when you go to spring practice, you pretty much know that's going to be your team going into the fall. However, if someone gets beaten out and doesn't like the situation, they can they transfer and just be ineligible for that fall, or?
You can always leave. But yes, your ability, I don't know that you can transfer. That's a good question.
Yeah.
There's one window, and once that window is closed, your ability to leave your program now is shut down. Now you can always walk out and leave, but I do not believe you're allowed to join another program. Yeah, you gotta make it. So for some of those quarterbacks that are battling for a position, they got to make a good decision on where they are and where they want to be, and I kind of like it. If you're making a decision to stay and compete, you're going to stay and compete. You got to compete in the spring. If you got to compete in the fall, that's the program you've chosen. That's where you're going to be, and again, the school tells you that too. If we got 2 great quarterbacks, I'm doing all I can to keep both of you guys. I want you both here. I know one of you is not going to be very happy, but I'm doing all I can to keep both of you here. And if they both stay and compete it out, you'll go into the fall with both those quarterbacks, hopefully.
Yeah. All right, a couple more minutes here with Steve Spurrier Jr. A couple of texts here from George on the Titanmar text line. He says, if you were in charge of the Gator football program today, what player would you make sure was on your roster next year?
There's too many. Jaden Ball is going to be one of my top guys I'm trying to keep, though.
That's who I would have.
I'm you look at some of those receivers, there's a couple guys here and there. There's a couple guys that are really hard to replace here, but who Jaden is and what he's done and just who he is. And, I don't know how many of you guys have gotten around him and get to know him, but he's a humble, low-key, tough, hardworking, no BS. He's a likable young man who works as hard as he can, and he is a talented guy. And he put on a show in that FSU game, and he was kind of fun to watch. But he had a number of plays that, like, a normal running back goes down, and he makes guys miss, and just just a wonderful player. So yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'm doing all I can to keep him in the program next year.
All right, last question here on the Titan Mar text line. William says, out of the three main head coaches you work for, your dad, Bob Stoops, and Mike Leach,
Yeah.
which one did you enjoy the most?
Well, if you don't say your father, you're going to be in trouble. So I'm going to start with my pop. But I promise you, all three of those guys will go down as the greatest coaches ever and some of the greatest people ever. And I've had some experiences to work for some other people, and every time I have a bad day or I think, what are these guys doing? I start to realize that I've worked for three of the best people and the best coaches ever. I mean, those three guys, it's just as good as people, as good as staff people, as good as family people, as people that got away from the game, people that love their family, people that love their staff's families. I mean, what we did with those three coaches, it's hard to replace. And especially nowadays where, it's just kind of a different age, and it's just people they work longer, and, you're constantly doing different things with your players and the portal and all that stuff. It's just gotten away from some of the things that I know my father and Coach Stoops were so great at. But yeah, having an opportunity to work for those three men, and I've got some stories to tell, and they were all great people, and we won a lot of games. So that was fun being a part with those men.
Yeah, and they all did it in their own way. Their own way.
Yeah,
beautiful. It's
no
not like
doubt.
Most coaches, they stick to a plan by the book or whatever. Yep. But good stuff. Bub, we appreciate your time. A lot of people on here on the text and the Facebook Live and the YouTube, they're hoping it works out here. I am too. And good luck, my friend, and we appreciate your time.
Always. Thank you, Shane. Take care, man, and go Gators.
All right, that's Steve Spurrier Jr. Steve Spurrier Jr. Join us on the Titan Mar Hotline, courtesy of Comfort Tent. Atlantic Roofing, your roofing experts for residential and commercial roofing with more than 50 years of local experience. Appreciate everybody joining the program today. We had a couple of technical issues, a little lighting issue. We'll get it all fixed up. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Take care.